I carry still feels heavy at times, a burden I never anticipated when I eagerly signed that non-disclosure agreement on my first day of work. I remember that day vividly. Fresh out of college, wide-eyed and brimming with excitement, I walked into the sleek office building, ready to embark on what I thought would be a glamorous career in the entertainment industry. The NDA was presented to me almost immediately, a thick stack of papers filled with legal jargon. At the time, I barely skimmed it, too caught up in the thrill of my new job to pay much attention to the fine print. Little did I know that those pages would come to define my experience, binding me to silence about events that would haunt me for years to come. The first few weeks of the job were everything I had hoped for. I was running errands for a bona fide A-list celebrity, arranging schedules, and getting a behind-the-scenes look at the glittering world of Hollywood. The star, let's call them Anton to maintain anonymity, was charming and professional in those early days. I felt like I was living in a dream. But as the weeks turned into months, cracks began to appear in the carefully crafted public image. Small incidents at first, a tantrum over the wrong type of water in the dressing room, a harsh word to a fan who got too close. I brushed these off as the eccentricities of the rich and famous, the price of living life under constant scrutiny. Then came the night that would change everything. It was after a high-profile awards show. Anton had been nominated but lost to a younger rival. The tension in the limo on the way back to the hotel was palpable. I could sense a storm brewing, but nothing could have prepared me for what was about to unfold. As soon as we entered the penthouse suite, Anton exploded. It started with yelling, a stream of profanities directed at the awards show, the winners, the entire industry. But it quickly escalated beyond anything I had ever witnessed. In a drug-fueled rage, Anton began destroying the hotel room. Expensive vases were hurled against walls, paintings were torn from their frames, furniture was overturned. I stood frozen, unsure whether to intervene or flee. The destruction was accompanied by a tirade that revealed deep-seated insecurities and resentments, peppered with shocking revelations about other celebrities and industry insiders. As the night wore on, Anton's behavior became increasingly erratic. There were moments of paranoia, accusing me and other members of the entourage of betrayal. These were interspersed with periods of manic energy where Anton would outline grandiose plans for revenge against perceived enemies in the industry. The most disturbing part of the evening came when Anton made a series of phone calls. I listened in horror as threats were made, secrets were revealed, and relationships, both professional and personal, were irreparably damaged. It was like watching a career implode in real time, all while being powerless to stop it. Throughout this ordeal, I was acutely aware of my role as a witness. I knew that what I was seeing would be worth a fortune to tabloids and gossip sites. The revelations made that night could reshape public perception of not just Anton, but several other high-profile figures in the entertainment industry. As dawn broke and Anton finally passed out amidst the destruction, I was left to deal with the aftermath. I coordinated with hotel staff to clean up the mess, making up stories about a wild party to explain the damage. I reached out to Anton's publicist, giving a sanitized version of events to prepare for any potential leaks. In the days that followed, I watched in amazement as the incident was completely covered up. A hefty payment to the hotel ensured their discretion. The few staff members who had witnessed anything were quietly paid off or intimidated into silence. Anton's team went into overdrive, crafting a narrative of a quiet night in to explain the star's absence from post-award show parties. It was then that the true power of the NDA I had signed became clear to me. I was sitting on information that could potentially end careers, reshape public perceptions, and send shockwaves through the entertainment industry. But I was legally bound to silence, unable to share what I had witnessed with anyone. This incident was far from isolated. Over the next year of my employment, I witnessed numerous other meltdowns, though none quite as spectacular as that night. I saw the ugly side of fame, the substance abuse, the manipulation, the casual cruelty to those deemed less important. I became privy to secrets that would make even the most jaded tabloid editor raise an eyebrow. Yet through it all, I maintained my silence. The NDA hung over me like a sword of Damocles, a constant reminder of the legal and financial consequences I would face if I ever spoke out. But more than that, I found myself grappling with the ethics of the situation. On one hand, I felt a responsibility to the truth. The public image being presented of Anton and others in the industry was a carefully constructed lie. Fans were being deceived, led to idolize figures whose real-life behavior was often reprehensible. There were moments when I felt that speaking out would be the right thing to do, a way to pull back the curtain on the artifice of celebrity. But on the other hand, I had given my word. I had signed that NDA willingly, agreeing to protect the privacy of my employer. Did the public really have a right to know every sordid detail of a celebrity's private life? And what about the collateral damage? Speaking out wouldn't just affect Anton, but countless others in the industry, many of whom I had come to know and respect. As the months went by, the weight of these secrets began to take its toll on me. I found myself becoming cynical, disillusioned with the world I had once been so eager to join. The disparity between the public personas I helped maintain and the private realities I witnessed became increasingly difficult to reconcile. I began to withdraw from friends and family, unable to share the true nature of my experiences. How could I explain the stress I was under without revealing the very things I was sworn to keep secret? My relationships suffered as I became more guarded, always afraid of saying too much. The final straw came after another incident, less dramatic than the hotel room destruction, but in many ways more disturbing. I watched as Anton manipulated and gaslit a young up-and-coming star, using insider knowledge to undermine their confidence and sabotage their career. It was a calculated, cruel act, done with a smile and a public show of support. I realized then that I couldn't continue in this role. The ethical burden of maintaining these secrets, of being complicit in the deception, had become too great. I tendered my resignation, citing personal reasons, and walked away from the world of celebrity assistance. In the years since, I've grappled with the implications of my experience. I've watched Anton's career continue to flourish, built on the carefully maintained image that I know to be false. I've seen other celebrities fall from grace for transgressions far less severe than what I witnessed. The irony is not lost on me. The NDA I signed has long since expired, but the habit of secrecy remains ingrained. Even now, writing this account, I find myself instinctively obscuring details, protecting identities. The fear of repercussions, both legal and personal, lingers. But beyond that, I'm still unsure of the ethics of revealing these secrets. Yes, the public image of these celebrities is often a fabrication, a product carefully crafted by teams of publicists and managers. But don't we all present a curated version of ourselves to the world? Is it fair to hold public figures to a higher standard of authenticity? Moreover, I've come to understand the immense pressure that comes with fame. The constant scrutiny, the loss of privacy, the expectation of perfection, it's a burden that few are truly equipped to handle. While it doesn't excuse the behavior I witnessed, it has given me a more nuanced perspective on the realities of life in the public eye. In the end, I've chosen to keep the specific details of what I witnessed to myself. Not out of fear of legal repercussions, but out of a complex mix of ethical considerations and a lingering sense of loyalty. Instead, I've tried to channel my experiences into a broader commentary on the nature of fame and the power of image in our celebrity-obsessed culture. I've become an advocate for media literacy, encouraging people to think critically about the celebrity images they consume. I speak in general terms about the disparity between public personas and private realities, urging fans to be more discerning in their admiration. The experience has also led me to reflect deeply on the nature of privacy in the digital age. In a world where everyone carries a camera in their pocket and social media has blurred the lines between public and private, what right to privacy do public figures really have? It's a question I continue to wrestle with, informed by my unique perspective as both an insider and an observer. As I look back on my time as a celebrity assistant, I'm struck by the complexity of the emotions it still evokes. There's regret for my complicity in maintaining false images, guilt over the secrets I continue to keep, and a lingering sense of disillusionment with the entertainment industry. But there's also gratitude for the lessons learned, the perspective gained, and the personal growth that came from navigating such ethically murky waters. The experience shaped me in profound ways, influencing my worldview and my understanding of the interplay between truth, privacy, and public perception. To this day, when I see Anton or other celebrities I worked with on screen or in magazines, I can't help but think of the reality behind the image. It's a reminder of the power of secrets, the complexity of human nature, and the high price of fame. And while the weight of those secrets may never fully lift, I've come to see my experience as a unique window into a world few ever truly see, a perspective that, despite its burdens, I've come to value.